How are you?
Doing any golfing?
No.
Play mini golf. It's very easy. We also have, I forgot to mention golf. So I got a flat green that's 125 feet by 50, like 6 holes, with stripes and solid.
Want to play mini golf?
That stays under the tree. It's like
Nice.
10, 15 degrees cool on the other spot.
Okay.
What's going on? Thank you. That's that.
Good evening.
Yeah, we can, I'd like to, something that makes it on in golf.
I saw the cord.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see it up? Can you pick it up? Sure. Can you?
Doing fine, sir. You doing all right? Yeah.
All that sun painted in there
Thank you.
by the sun.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Could be a lot worse. Could be outside.
Well, I tried it, and you can stand up and still be heard, but I just typically. You can move from behind you too. Okay.
That's nice up there. Okay, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order tonight. I'd like to welcome everybody here. We have a nice turnout this evening. I'm sure we'll have a few speakers. I'd like to remind everybody who is going to speak a couple of things. Number one, be sure you sign up for the sheet and back. And number two, instead of using the podium this evening, because we have some fans running, hearing will be difficult, we're going to ask you to come and speak right here in the front where we have a microphone. Okay. Mr. Thompson, if you could call the meeting to order, please. A roll call.
Yes, sir. Mr. Matt Seal,
Here.
Mr. Steve Donahue,
Here.
Mr. Kevin Meadows,
Here.
Mr. Hubert Allen.
Here.
Mr. Steve Rosen.
Yes.
Mr. William Flippen.
Here. Okay, may we have a motion on the agenda, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Second?
Mr. Matt Seal.
Yes.
Mr. Steve Donahue.
Yes.
Mr. Kevin Meadows.
Yes.
Mr. Hubert Allen.
Yes.
Mr. Steve Rosen.
Yes.
Mr. William Flippen.
Yes.
Okay, and we have some requests to set public hearing. A public hearing.
Yes, sir. This evening, the request to set public hearing is for a conditional use permit for 26-02 Firefly Point Event Facility. This application was deemed complete on April 28th, 2026, and I'm requesting that the Planning Commission set this for public hearing at your next regular meeting on June 15th.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we set CUP 26-02 Firefly Point Event Center a public hearing for 15 June.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Matt Seal.
Yes.
Mr. Steve Donahue.
Yes.
Mr. Kevin Meadows.
Yes.
Mr. Hubert Allen.
Yes.
Mr. Steve Rosen.
Yes.
Mr. William Flippen.
Yes.
Okay, and now we'll move to the public hearings. We will now open the hearing.
The first public hearing that we have this evening is for conditional use permit 25-02, the Farmville Seventh-day Adventist Church Radio Tower. The applicant is Pastor Melvin King, and this is for a radio tower on 0.871 acres of a total of 7.4 acres. The location is 2086 Cumberland Road. The property is zoned A2, and the current land use is a church with accessory structures. Here we have the vicinity map, and the tiny red star indicates where this parcel is located. Here is the aerial map, and of course, we know that our GIS is not always accurate, so the purple outline is supposed to indicate where the parcel layer is. Obviously, it does not bisect the building itself and the parking lot, so it is a little bit off, but that gives you the general area of where this parcel is located. And these aerial maps are from 2022. We did have new aerial maps flown in 2025, so hopefully sometime this year we'll get the updated aerial maps uploaded to our GIS.
Where is the, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
where is the tower specifically on that parcel?
I do have a site plan that I'll show you in just a couple of slides that will show you where that's at. Here's the current survey. This is from July 18th of 1981. The parcel in question is in the middle. It's lot 2. Sorry about that. Here's the zoning map to show that the parcel is zoned to A2 agricultural. The next map we have is the comprehensive plan map from 2024. And then, of course, the zoomed-in section is the Rains Tavern Crossroads, which does indicate that this parcel is located within that Rains Tavern Crossroads small area plan. Here is the site plan that shows Route 45 north to south. The parcel is to the right. It's kind of hard to see. The next image that I show you will be a little bit easier to discern. It does show the church, the parking lot, and then the location of the tower itself. This is also included in your board packet as well. It will be on
19.
Page 19.
Yes, sir, page 19. Here's a little bit easier view of that site plan. It shows Route 45 east to west, the driveway coming in, the church building. The little square behind it is the current parking lot, and then the triangle section is the location of the tower itself. You'll see that it's about 224 feet to the northern property line and about 94 feet to the southern property line, which the church also owns. For a summary of the project, the tower was erected in April of last year without local permits. Staff contacted Pastor King and informed him of the CUP process. Pastor King stated that the church had obtained the permits required from the FCC and was unaware that local permits were required. Over the past year, the staff have worked with members of the church to obtain the information needed to move forward with this conditional use permit process. The CUP application was deemed complete on April 9th of this year. The request is for a 165-foot radio tower that was erected behind the existing church. The intent is to use this tower to broadcast a non-commercial, educational, B1 class radio station according to its FCC permit application that was submitted in 2021. Their application further provides that the purpose and objective of the station is to educate listeners in practical, holistic, home, health, and heart education, along with uplifting religious messages and music. The tower is located on approximately 0.8 of an acre in a 50 by 100-foot area to be fenced in, approximately 300 feet east of the church building. The fencing will be a minimum of 6 foot tall with green plastic anti-climbing strips woven throughout the chain link fence to prevent climbing. This is an AI image that was created to show what it will look like once the fence is installed and the anti-climbing devices will be placed as well. The tower is located approximately 94 feet from the southern parcel line, and therefore the applicants are requesting a waiver from section 74-736C7, which requires that all towers be designed to fall within the parcel boundaries. The church has offered to allow the county to locate on the tower for emergency service purposes. The tower is designed to collapse at break points where the legs are connected approximately every 20 feet. Should the tower fail at the base and fall southward, it could potentially fall on the adjoining parcel, which, as we know, the church also owns, known as tax map 97A101. Here's an image that I took in April of last year when we first were made aware of the tower as it was erected. This is from the intersection of John Randolph Road and Cumberland Road. And it is visible from this intersection, but you can only see the very tip of the tower because of the existing vegetation that's there. This is a picture from the driveway coming in to the property from Route 45. And this is a picture from the parking lot looking directly at the back of the property where the tower sits. And of course, these photos were taken in April of last year. For consistency with the comprehensive plan, Goal 14 of the comp plan does support the efficient and effective emergency services and human services. So approval of the CUP and installation of an antenna for the county's emergency services will comply with the comprehensive plan and further the ongoing progress being made in this area. For the planning and zoning ordinance, section 74-702 provides standards that shall be considered by both the commission and the board as part of reviewing that CUP application. All standards in this code section have been addressed satisfactorily by the applicant. Section 74-731 through 747 regulate the communication towers and provide guidelines and requirements for these structures. With that one exception, the applicant meets the requirements of this code section. That one exception is the stipulation that the tower must be designed to collapse within the parcel boundaries in the event of a structural failure. A waiver of this requirement to allow the fall radius to be extended to the property boundaries owned by the applicant is included with this request. For public engagement, notice of the hearing was advertised in the Farmville Herald on May 6th and 13th. Adjoining property owners were sent notice for this hearing on April 21st. Notice was posted on the public hearings webpage of the county site and all 3 bulletin boards in the administration building on April 21st as well. One adjoining property owner called to inquire about the project, and staff informed him of the information we received. That owner did not provide any negative feedback on this project. A second adjoining property owner submitted an email requesting that they be able to participate in the meeting via Zoom. Staff offered to discuss the project with the property owner, or they could reach the commission individually by phone or email, or provide written documentation to be addressed at the hearing, as their request could not be accommodated. I have since spoken with both of the property owners. It was Air Property, and there's two sisters that currently own that lot now. I have spoken with both of them a few times. I've emailed them, I've provided them with the information. I've given them the link to the live stream this evening. I've sent them the meeting packet, as well as all the information that we have. And I believe they are watching the meeting this evening, so they are aware of what's going on. They just live out of state and state that they did not have time to make travel plans to attend the meeting tonight. And that is all I have for you this evening, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have regarding this application.
Commissioners?
Yes.
So I got two questions. One is the two adjacent owners, they did not provide us with any kind of negative or positive feedback? They're just watching, or what?
So the first adjoining property owner was the property owner to the south, and they were just inquiring about the project. He just wanted information.
Right?
The second person, property owner, to contact me, the two sisters, they wanted to participate electronically. I'm not able to set up a Zoom meeting to have them electronically interact with the commission at this meeting. I did provide them with the information, and of course their concern was that, would this tower negatively affect the value of their property?
Okay.
I could not answer that question, so I provided them with Ms. Phillips' information, the Commissioner of Revenue. I also sent Ms. Phillips an email with their contact information and their concerns, and asked that she reach out to them directly.
Okay.
So,
All right. Second, I'm sorry. My second question is, do we know the time frame for the fencing of this facility?
I do not, but the applicants are here this evening, so I believe they're able to answer that question for you.
Would you like to answer that?
Yeah, but we can wait for
Can the
them
applicant
to.
answer that question for us?
Yeah, I can.
If you just want to go ahead, yes, please, thank you. Just state your name and address, please.
You can move the chair if you don't want to sit, but go right ahead.
I've been standing and walking all day long, so
Okay, have a seat.
if I sit down, you might not be able to get to move me. So my name is Rick Dahlberg. I'm the new pastor at the church. I currently reside in Palmyra with my wife. We have plans to, as soon as we get a zoning permit, to move on having the area fenced. We were advised not to move on any of that, anything else until we were permitted, and certainly big apologies for not knowing what we were getting into with the zoning problem.
Do we have a statement in writing from the church that they would, if this tower is approved, allow county communications devices on?
I believe we do have that in writing, yes.
Any other questions, anybody? I'd just like to say it's nice to finally have this in front of us. I'll just leave it right there, but thank you. All right, maybe we have a
I'll go in
motion.
the sign-up sheets.
What's that?
I'm going to go check the sign-up
Okay.
sheets.
Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing now. There's no one to speak, so we'll close the public portion of the hearing. Is there a motion?
Chairman, I move that we approve for sending on to the Board of Supervisors, CUP 25-02.
Do we have a second? Second.
Mr. Chairman, I have some concerns about this tower that's, I would say proposed, but it's already in place. The proximity to Farmville Airport, and there's a former pilot is not an issue, but what does become an issue is the proximity to the Randolph Fire Station. At one point, the county had plans to put LZs, or landing zones, for Medtrite and our dust-off choppers at the fire stations and at Station 1 EMS here in the village. The state police, which provides Medtrite services, approximately 6 months ago started using surplus UH-1H and M model Hueys. I've thrown Hueys. If you're coming in to an LZ at that fire station, that tower could be an issue. I won't say it will, but it could be. The color of the tower blends into the sky very easily. If you're on the ground, that's a great thing. But if you're in the air doing 90 knots, 120 miles an hour, and you don't see it until the last moment, you've got a catastrophic mid-air collision. I've worked them, I've survived one. They're not fun to have happen. I question if this is needed in that area. I've spoken with a couple state police pilots. They were not aware that it's there, and they basically started looking for it and couldn't find it. If the commission approves this and sends it to the Board of Supervisors, I think at minimum, even though it is below the FAA certification requirements for lighting, I do believe it needs to be painted in an obvious color, such as the cell tower just to the southeast, and lights be placed on it. It was also stated that the property that this is going on has no historic significance. April 7, 1865, the Battle of Cumberland Church was fought over part of this land. I dispute no historical significance. Mahomes Division was active along this area, along Jamestown Church Road, and they used the Range Tavern Road as a retreat to get around. I'm also extremely disturbed by how this went up and the fact that the church did not actively participate or actively seek permits to start. And as far as trees buffering the tower and all, in the last few months, most of the trees on that property have been cleared to the south of the tower and also somewhat to the northeast of the tower. So I do have concerns. I'm not totally against it, but I'm not in favor of it totally out. And I don't know if the applicant can address these concerns or not.
Before we ask the applicant that, do we know are there any current updates on landing zones?
I know it was in the plans, that's all I can tell you. And I know even if they don't have an LZ designated, if it is close enough to one of the fire stations, they will use the fire station or rescue station for an LZ.
So, Mr. Allen?
Mr. Chair.
Would you then consider it wise to withhold any development in that area for historical reasons and for the potential that there might be Hueys coming?
I would not withhold for development as long as it was below a certain height.
So it's just, so the historical argument really is not.
In the historic argument, there's been some talk about the state development through some more trails, additional property, perhaps, that would tie into the High Bridge Trail and also Sales Creek Battlefield.
Yeah, again, my question though is, do we not allow development because there might be potentially something in the future that comes in there?
I don't see this tower as a development. I see it as something that is nice to have, but is it really needed?
Mr. Chair, can I ask a question? So when we started this, there was a motion made and I seconded. So we never voted on the motion.
Yeah, we don't have
And
to.
we should have.
No, technically, under Robert's Rules of Order, you can correct me, Chairman, if I'm wrong, but usually there's a motion, and there's a second, and then there's a discussion, which is what's happening now.
There was no call for a question.
That the call for the question comes after the discussion.
No.
You can, a member of the commission can call for the question, and at that point, then the discussion is over,
Yes.
and then there would be a vote on
No.
the motion. That's correct.
Parliamentary procedure. Question simply means one person is ready to vote. And that's all it means.
You have to
Chairman-
vote to stop discussion.
No, yeah. The president says, question's been called for, is there any further discussion? And discussion can go on for the next hour. Then someone can stand up and say, Mr. Chairman, I move the previous question. The president says, the previous question has been moved. We will now proceed to vote on the previous question, which means we'll stop discussion and vote on having a vote on the main motion. So once you vote on the previous question, if it passes, then you vote on the main motion. Question, calling for question just says, one person is ready to vote. And usually that's all it takes. That's a signal to everybody else. Wrap it up, let's vote.
Okay, I'm a little confused now. Did I jump the gun on asking for a motion?
Negative.
No, normally in a main motion that's discussable, you have to have a main motion, you have to have a second. Once it's second, you state the main motion and ask for discussion
On that main motion?
on that main motion.
And technically, there's supposed to be somebody in favor of the motion and somebody opposed to the motion, someone in favor, someone opposed.
Right.
But we're such a small committee that it doesn't matter.
And we have a problem is that there's parliamentary procedures in two different ways. There's parliamentary procedure for a meeting of 100 people.
Right.
And there's parliamentary procedure for a committee.
Right.
And it has a lot of different little rules and things. And we function more as a committee than we do as an official meeting. So that's why we allow for a lot more flexibility.
Well, I'd like to address one thing.
Well, I do have one question for the applicant, if I may.
Okay.
I know y'all have done a lot of land clearing and such, and I've heard rumors that y'all are planning for a school on site too. Is that true, or?
Good evening.
Can you state your name, please?
Melvin King. I'm the former pastor of Farmville, and thank you for your service. My dad was a captain in the military, and so. But no, these plans for the school.
Please speak up.
Speak up, please.
Yes, the plans for the school. There were initially plans for a school. We put it out there as something that we would want to do for the benefit of the community as well. But those plans have been laid aside. There's no current plans and no foreseeable future of a school on the property
In
as
the
well.
future, you do not plan to?
It would have to be brought up by another board, another body at some point in the future if that were the case. And now knowing what we know, we would know which channels to be able to touch base with to make sure. We're really appreciative of all of the public assistance that we've had in this endeavor. We've heard that mental health is a huge issue right now, and we think that our radio station would be tremendously helpful in that as well.
Okay. What I wanted to bring up was, you stated that you're not sure it's needed. I'm not sure that's something we're concerned with because it's a private entity that wants to do the tower, not the county. So I'm not sure that that's something we need to address or be worried about myself.
Concur with you, I just, hate to see something go on.
Right. Well, I think your concern is from a safety standpoint.
It is.
You hate to see something go up, but I don't have the feeling that you're against the tower in and of itself. You may be against or have an issue with where it's located or how tall it is. So, okay. All right, well, any other questions or comments from the commissioners?
I have a clarifying question, maybe for staff. Mr. Allen said that he would like to have possibly the tower painted or to have a light on it. Can we actually require a light on it or not? Because I know that they have to have a light at a certain height,
At 200
but
feet.
under that, there's a problem with the light being an issue for light pollution, right?
Correct, that would be a nuisance. I can't say for certainty at this moment that we can require it. I think that as a conditional use permit, that is something that the planning commission can recommend and the board could approve as a condition of approval, but I don't know that that's something that we would want necessarily aside. I understand the concern for safety, but not only would it be light pollution, but it would also be a potential detriment to the surrounding properties to have a light flashing or blinking during the nighttime. So I think that would raise more concerns with the adjoining property owners or people in the community than without having it lit. The painting of an obvious color, I mean, that is something that I can look into that may be, a balance. That way it could potentially address some of the concerns with safety, but also not be lit. I can look into that if you would like.
The second question I had, unrelated somewhat, is do we know how much taller the tower is from the tops of the nearby trees?
That I do not know. I do not know.
Trees appear to be about 80 foot around the tower. The tower's 165 according to the application.
I have a question, Mr. Allen can probably answer something. Is there a committee with the state police or whatever who makes recommendations of what they would like to see in situations for landing zones and all that we can contact and see that?
I'm not sure about that, but I know that I provided the information to our fire and EMS coordinator, and he informed me that he made state police and our local and EMS, local fire and EMS people aware of the tower. Some of them were already aware, obviously, if they were at Randolph, because they can see it. It's pretty close to the firehouse, but
I was thinking once it's operating helicopters.
yes, once it's operational, then of course it goes on, and I don't know the exact terminology, so forgive me, but it goes on some sort of map that all of the state police and the fire and EMS people in the state are aware of, so that way they know.
Your flight charts for the
Thank you.
area, and they've already sent a notice to Adam and I got.
Thank you.
If I had to make a choice between painting it a bright color or putting a red light on top of it, I'd go red light all day. Some big orange tower, yellow tower is going to be nicer, I think, and a little red light is not a lot. Visual.
The light on the tower is very minimal to people below unless they look
Yeah.
up. If you take a tower 165 feet with one blinking light on top, it's not going to cast that much of a glow
Yeah.
at ground level. It's going to be casting out at altitude, not interfering with homeowners.
I agree with that.
Do we have in our regulations anything about a reflective material on the top of it? To where if they're coming in with lights, they would be reflected off there pretty easily?
I can pull up the ordinance real quick. If the electronics will be kind to me today.
Did the company that you contract with to build the tower, did they make any recommendations as far as the light was concerned or any way to identify it at night?
That's a great question. When we contracted with them, well, the towers themselves are designed based off of the engineer's assessment of the area and what would be needed. And so when,
Speak up.
pardon me again, the tower is designed based off of the engineer's assessment of the area. The FCC actually takes a look at the area and says, this is what we will allow given the area. The engineers go throughout the entire community, from what I've been given the understanding of. They look at the municipal airports, they look at all the signals that are competing against each other, and they recommend a particular height that would be appropriate, that would not interfere with anything else in the community. So the 165 height was what was recommended and established as the only height that we could have from the FCC. We can't go higher because it would interfere.
Why was it 165 height established?
165. That's what the FCC approved. They were only approved that 165 height.
Has to do with frequencies,
It
correct?
has to do with frequency as well, and it is a directional antenna. So the antenna is the signal bends in a way that does not interfere with the other competing towers that are around it.
Okay. Are there other towers out there that way?
I don't think there are too many other towers that way. There's one directly. The tower's
Any other
facing.
towers out there anywhere?
The one tower that's probably been there 15 years or more is a cell tower that is located maybe 100 meters at the most off of John Randolph Road and Cooks Road. It's almost at the intersection.
There's also Flow, the radio station
Yes.
that was down the road as well. So when the FCC looks at that, they say you are not permitted to interfere with this, that, and the other, and they actually design. The engineers designed the tower based off of that.
Okay. Is there currently any light or reflective material on the tower anywhere?
Currently, there's no reflective material other than the reflection of the tower itself. However, that's part of the plan, is to make sure that there's some sort of reflective material to be able to
Part of the plan. So you have a plan to do something?
do we have
You said it's part of the plan. You have a plan to do something?
for the safety plans, yes, to make sure that there's something in place to be able to, one, make sure that no one from the community decides that they want to climb it.
All right.
And also, according to the FCC, because it's beneath 200 feet, we don't necessarily need to place a light there, but based upon your recommendation, if that's something that you would require, we'd be more than open to do so.
Mr.
All right,
Chairman,
thank you.
a couple things. On page 46 of your packet is the allocation study, which is the map that Pastor King was just referencing, where there's, certain towers that are existing and they can't go within certain areas. Also, I did find in our ordinance that the towers must comply with the following. The tower design must provide for a galvanized steel finish or, subject to applicable standards of the FAA, be painted a neutral color so as to reduce visual obtrusiveness. The next section says, where did it go? Towers must not be artificially lit unless required by the FAA or other governing authority.
Artificially lit.
Correct. They must not be
That-
artificially lighted.
No,
Artificial lights, they don't
no
like.
lights.
Yeah.
So
That's why
they're saying
No light.
no
No
light.
no
light
lights at all
unless
unless it's
required by
required by the
the
FAA.
Right.
Or that takes care of that.
or other governmental, or other governing authority.
Oh, well, there we are.
I'm okay in deferring to the FCC, they know a lot more than I do.
We're spinning around here. Okay, thank you.
Yes, no problem.
All right, any other further questions or comments? So let me ask, where are we then on a light or some way of, I don't know if highlighting is the right word, but making the tower more visible for aircraft?
So I think that the FCC does this all the time, and I think that they have probably exactly how far that tower is from everything.
Yeah.
And they've probably determined exactly what needs to be done with that tower, and their determination is it doesn't need the light, so I'm going with that.
Okay.
You said the FCC or FAA?
Well,
FCC.
what's that?
FCC.
But the FCC, I'm sure, contacted the FAA. I mean, why wouldn't they?
Keep in mind too, that area is also a military area of operations for more, for low-flying aircraft.
All right, is that it? Call for a vote on the motion.
So Mr. Rosen, just to make sure I had, Mr. Donahue made the motion,
Yes.
correct? Okay, I apologize.
Mr. Meadows seconded.
Mr. Meadows seconded. Mr. Matt Seal?
Yes.
Mr. Steve Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Kevin Meadows?
Yes.
Mr. Hubert Allen?
No.
Mr. Steve Rosen?
Yes.
Mr. William Flippen?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on now, we will move to the next public hearing. We will open that hearing.
Thank you. The next public hearing this evening is for conditional use permit 2601, Mega Mini Golf. That's you. The owner is Fred Murrell, and the applicant is Jeffrey Murrell,
Here.
Murrell, I apologize, Daniel Murrell and Fred Murrell. This is for a CUP for a mini golf business. The parcel is 3.4 acres and the CUP acreage is 1.4. The location is 3945 Cumberland Road. It's currently zoned R2 residential with a dwelling and accessory structures. I apologize, gentlemen, that will be found on pages 76 of your packet. Here we have the vicinity map for you again with a little red star denoting the location of the parcel. The zoning map showing that the property in question is zoned R2 residential. The comprehensive plan map from 2024. And here's the zoomed in version of the Courthouse Village Center, and the property in question is the little tiny red star, which is located within that Courthouse Village Center. Here is the aerial map of the property. This is the most recent survey. This was done in December of 1952, and you'll see that this shape of the parcel is a little bit different from what we see on the map. This is before Cumberland Road actually was dedicated a little bit different. They curved it, so that was before the VDOT dedication. This is the VDOT map, so this is what the parcel looks like after the dedication to VDOT. That section in pink you see there is the land that was part of their parcel that was actually dedicated or taken from them and dedicated to VDOT for that road reconfiguration. Here we have the site plan that was drawn by Daniel Murrell. This is the applicants are not required to, nor will they provide restroom facilities. This is a change since the original application, and they do show a bathroom / clubhouse on the original site plan. After discussing their proposal with the health department, they were made aware that they were not required to provide restroom facilities, so they do not plan to. Residents Daniel and Jeffrey Murrell enjoy playing mini golf and wanted to share this passion with members of the community. Jeffrey, a then senior at Cumberland High School and very recent graduate, chose to open a mini golf business for his senior project. The senior project is a mandatory graduation requirement and is designed to provide valuable hands-on experience. The goal is to help students develop essential skills in research, project management, and professional presentation, It involves in-depth research of a product or service and a formal presentation. Jeffrey and Daniel, with the help of their father Fred, chose to create a mini golf course in their own yard that's approximately 1.4 acres in size. Unbeknownst to them, this new business use does require a conditional use permit in the R2 zoning district. Mega Mini Golf is designed for small groups and will have a maximum of 10 people per hour on site. The hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. with tee times ending at 9. The course has interconnecting holes, meaning you never have to pick up your ball. There are other ways to play, such as foot golf and disc golf. The goal of the Merle family is to provide a family-friendly outing that is simple, but a unique experience that is easy to learn. Here we see a picture of Daniel and Jeffrey with their sign. These are some images that were shared about Daniel and Jeffrey, and hoping that they will have some night golf here soon. Because they weren't aware that this business required a conditional use permit, they were open to the public prior to obtaining their conditional use permit. They have since not been open to the public, but we are hoping that we can get them back in operation here soon. These images show the lit up areas for...
Like the lit up course.
Thank you, the lit up course. Thank you, Daniel. This is all of the hard work that these gentlemen have put into this business. Objective 8.2 of the comprehensive plan is to encourage the development of service and retail business. Approval of this CUP will welcome a new service business to the Courthouse Village Center. Section 74-702 provides for standards that shall be considered by the Commission and Board as part of the review of the CUP. All standards in this code section have been addressed satisfactorily by the applicant. Notice of this hearing was advertised in the Farmville Herald on May 6th and 13th. Adjoining property owners were sent notice of this hearing by first-class mail on April 21st. Posted notice was on the public hearings page of the county's website and our bulletin boards on April 21st, and staff has received no comments for or against this application as of tonight. It is the opinion of staff that the request promotes good zoning practice and that the location and intended use of the property are consistent with the zoning ordinance and the comprehensive plan. Therefore, staff recommends approval of CUP 2601 with the following conditions. Compliance with the site plan is required. The applicant shall comply with the plan attached to the application in regard to the areas to be used for the business. For the buffer, the natural vegetative buffer that is already there shall be maintained and left in its natural state on all property lines. Septic, well, and electrical connections, the applicant shall comply with all federal, state, and local regulations pertaining to the use of private water, sewer, and electricity. So at some point, if they do decide to provide bathroom or other types of services, they have the ability to do so. They'll just need to go through the health department and follow those regulations. Refuse disposal, a container of adequate size shall be provided, and refuse shall be emptied no less than once a week when full, and all refuse shall be screened from public view. The hours of operation will be 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Noise shall be restricted from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. daily. Lighting shall not constitute a nuisance and shall not produce glare or spillover onto adjacent properties. I think they've done a great job of that so far with what they have on the property. Compliance with VDOT required. The applicant shall be required to comply with all requirements of VDOT for safe entrance and exit to the site. I think this will be the only issue that may arise because of where the driveway is and the visibility for exiting the property. We have been in touch with VDOT, and also the Planning Commission did recommend a speed study to potentially reduce that speed limit from 55 to 45. So as I explained to Mr. Merle this evening, whatever VDOT requires for this business, then he would be required, whatever that may be. The rest of these are typical CUP conditions, community safety. If law enforcement is required to respond to restore order more than twice in 30 days, the CUP can be reviewed and potentially revoked by the board. The applicant shall at all times comply with all other applicable state, federal, and local ordinances and statutes. Non-compliance, and then of course, if any condition in the CUP is invalid or unenforceable, all the other conditions will remain in full force and effect. And then the renewal of the conditional use permit, the regular renewal can be done administratively through my office. And that is all I have for you this evening. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, we will open the public hearing.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. I'll remind you when we call you, if you could please come up, state your name and address also. Thank you. This is Missy Shores. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Good evening. I just wanted to speak on behalf of this project and this family. Jeffrey just graduated from our high school this past Friday. He's a great student, beloved by the entire school community. Daniel graduated from there 2 years ago, my first year as the principal at the high school. My daughter and I went actually yesterday evening. Jeffrey had a graduation party there all weekend. It was, you could go and play some bucket golf. And so my daughter and I went and hung out and spent some time with them. Had a great time. It's a great, friendly family environment. You just go, you relax, you play, you have good conversation. There's multiple ways to play their course, and it was a really nice time. And I think it does bring that family-oriented activity to the community that we so desire here in Cumberland County. So any consideration you can give to this project, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Very much. I forgot to mention one thing. You're okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't know that we'll run into it, but we ask you to keep your comments to 3 minutes. Thank you. Fred Merle, right? Okay.
I know you guys have talked to me already before. My name's Fred Morrow.
Address?
3945 Cumberland Road at Mega Mini Golf. I mean, we do provide more of a service. I've offered service to every Cumberland office there is, the senior citizens, the school, all for free. So it's not just for us to enjoy, it's also, we open it up to the public, for the county of Cumberland. My sons went to school. I can't thank them enough for how the school has treated them and them just graduating. We're Cumberland residents for life. So we want to continue that, and I'd like to have a mini golf course. But all I got, you got any questions for me? All right. So
Thank you very much.
I didn't think that took 3 minutes.
Daniel.
So I can't find.
Daniel wants to read he's got some written statements he wants to
Okay.
read. Okay,
I mean, not really written, just.
that's
Okay.
okay. You do what you need to do.
Well, first off, hi, I'm Daniel Merle, 3945 Cumberland Road. And I did mention, the the plan, 2023 plan, I've got.
Comprehensive plan?
Comprehensive plan, you said it complies with 8.2, but I think it also applies to first off 5.1, maintain the character of the country through preserving the natural resources for the benefit of current and future citizens, and 7.1, utilizing the Parks and Recreation Master Plan, implement recreational assets to enhance public health and quality of life in the community. and capitalize on natural and cultural resources to create a thriving hospitality, recreation, and ecotourism industry for both residents and visitors. And also, you mentioned that like has like simple and it's a simple and easy experience, like that's easy to learn for like golfers of all ages. Like we want everyone to play, you know. And there's multiple ways of play, such as bucket golf, like park golf, like disc golf, like foot golf, and you know, fling golf and foot golf. Did I mention? Yeah, a lot of modes of play. Like I think they were shown off last time. Like, yeah. I don't think I. Yeah.
Well done, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. Melvin King, you signed up on the wrong sheet, maybe? Okay, lucky you, sorry. Thank you anyway.
Navigating
Your
our
tower's not even getting away with the Okay. Sherry Bro?
Yes, and I did, thank you.
Wrong sheet. They're on the wrong sheet also? Okay. Okay, and I'm sure Pastor's on the wrong sheet as well, okay.
If we do have to speak, we're definitely in favor.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, we will close the public portion of the hearing right now then, if no one else has anything to say. Commissioners?
Mr. Chairman, they've done a great job with their senior project. It's something that would be beneficial to the county, something we don't have. Based upon that, I move that we adopt CUP 26-01 and send it to the Board of Supervisors with the recommendation of approval.
Second.
Mr. Matt Seal,
Yes.
Mr. Steve Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Kevin Meadows,
Yes.
Mr. Hubert Allen,
Yes.
Mr. Steve Rosen,
Yes.
Mr. William Flippin.
Yes.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on to old business.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I don't have any updates for the potential code amendments or solar, but the request for the speed study update can be found on page 106. On April 20th, the Planning Commission requested that staff submit a speed study request to the board, and I did so on May 12th. And the board did submit that or request VDOT to initiate that speed study as recommended by the Planning Commission. VDOT was in attendance, and he did say, Brian Locker was there, and he'd say, okay, request received. I'm here, so he did take that with him. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, you said what?
Request received.
Request received, he
Okay.
was in the audience, yes, sir. For CUP 2505, Dabney Carter, that was one that the Planning Commission submitted to the board with recommendation of approval. That did get approved. I've got the zoning permit application, they paid for it today, so by tomorrow that will be approved. Then they can move on to the building permit, so hopefully by next week, they'll start moving that replacement home in for Mr. Carter. Rezoning 2501, Valco Investments. This was the Dollar General at the corner of Blenheim and 60. Last month, the applicant requested that the public hearing be tabled because he had come down with COVID and he could not make it that night. This month, for the month of May, that afternoon of the meeting of Tuesday, they requested that it be tabled because at the direction of the board, they had actually been looking at alternative sites and had a handshake agreement, but were almost to a point where they could have a written agreement for an alternative site farther up 60. So they asked for it to be tabled for 1 month, but the board actually tabled it indefinitely. So it can be brought back up if the board chooses to do that. I don't think that will be necessary, seeing as how the applicant will be withdrawing once they have the alternative site secured. So that's the plan, the update for there.
Okay. And new business.
New business first item is the Board of Supervisors update with Supervisor Paul Stimson.
Good afternoon. Nothing to report at this time. Thank you. I know you've got a lot going in the next couple meetings, so good luck.
Next item I have for you this evening is the Planning Department report, and that can be found on pages 107 through 111 of your packet. Here we have just an overview. So the total number of subdivision plats that were approved were 1 for the month of April, and we have 49 pending. Plats, survey of existing lots and site plans approved were 4 with 39 pending. Total of 36 zoning permits and 13 residential E&S permits were approved with 1 commercial E&S permit. Building inspections monthly report for the month of April, they had 3 new homes and 81 other permits. That includes garages, sheds, carports, all of the trade permits, that sort of thing. They issued 5 certificates of occupancy for a total fees collected of $9,450.11, with a total estimated value of $1,365,954.12. That's all I have for you for new business.
Okay. Are there any general citizens? Anybody have anything they'd like to say? Okay. Commissioners, anything anybody here wants to say?
I've got a couple of things.
Okay.
First of all, I'd like to commend both applicants for being willing to invest in Cumberland County. And I particularly appreciate the 2 younger gentlemen here that are willing to turn their passion into a business, which is a good thing to do. And so I appreciate that. The second thing I'd like to say, you can probably imagine I'm going to say this. Both applicants did not know all of the requirements necessary to actually become a business in America, which is a tragedy. And there is a book out there called 3 Felonies a Day by Harvard Silvergate that identifies this very problem. It says that most Americans are so overregulated, overruled, that we can't even live a day without breaking some kind of law. And so I appreciate you being willing to come to compliance, and I know it's a difficult thing, so appreciate that.
Well said. Anybody else? Anything?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adjourn to 15th June 2026 at 6:30 p.m.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Matt Seal?
Yes.
Mr. Steve Donahue?
Yes.
Mr. Kevin Meadows?
Yes.
Mr. Hubert Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Steve Rosen?
Yes.
Mr. William Flippen?
Yes.
Meeting is adjourned.
All right.